A lion used to prowl about in a field in which 4 oxen used to dwell. Many a time he tried to attack them, but whenever he came near, they turned their tails to one another, so that whichever way he approached them, he was met by the horns of one of them. At last, however, they fell a-quarreling among themselves, and each went off to pasture alone in a separate corner of the field. Then, the lion attacked them one by one, and soon made an end of all 4. Have you ever been part of an organization where you felt unsafe at work? Meaning, you knew your fellow employees did not have your back or have your best interests in mind? They would hide information from you and even one-up you in front of your own boss? Unfortunately, this is how a lot of businesses and organizations are like today. Your accomplishments aren't met with praise and a "we're all gonna make it" attitude, but with jealousy and contempt. In large, I blame the culture, but your boss creates the culture. What a lot of new business owners, undergrads don't understand yet is that there's a fundamental difference between managing and leading. Leadership is not something you can measure in a classroom or on Excel, and people aren't just commodities and assets you throw away if you don't meet a quota. What happens in this type of toxic environment is that instead of fighting outside forces, now in today's modern world not a lion but other companies, the stock market, what have you, you fight against each other just like the oxen. Being paranoid and only watching out for yourself makes you less productive, and cortisol, the stress hormone, seeps into your body, which has harmful effects that could lead to things like heart disease and cancer, which obviously does kill you. In fact, having a toxic work environment is not only harmful to you, but also your kids. A study by 2 researchers at Boston College found that a child's sense of well-being is affected less by the long hours their parents put in at work, but more by the mood their parents are in when they come home. Children are better off having a parent who works into the night in a job they love than a parent who works shorter hours but comes home unhappy. This is the influence our job has on our families. Working late does not negatively impact our children, but rather how we feel at work does. Parents may feel guilty, and their children may miss them, but late nights at the office or frequent business trips are not likely the problem, it's your work culture. Just as cortisol is a stress hormone, there are many others that drive ambition, camaraderie, selflessness, and love, which are found in many good organizations and sports teams today. Mother Nature figured out early that it would be wise to condition us to use teamwork to get results. After all, we humans don't have any thick scales or large teeth, so our antipathy would probably get us killed by that lion or eventually any other external factor. These hormones include endorphins, dopamine, serotonin, and oxytocin. Endorphins and dopamine. Endorphins and dopamine are the chemicals of progress. They're the reason we hunt, gather, and today, why we want to achieve great things. Endorphins serve the primary purpose of masking pain and a release when you work out. You experience a release of endorphins during that tough CrossFit workout, or when many refer to the runner's high. Dopamine, more importantly, is that intense feeling of satisfaction you get when you accomplish a goal or reach that milestone. That amazing feeling you get when you cross things off your to-do list, that's Mother Nature using dopamine to incentivize you to, back then, find food and survive, but today, get that college degree, and also do your chores. Serotonin and oxytocin, or more commonly known as the selfless chemicals, are the reason we develop feelings of trust, loyalty, and cooperate with each other. You can't get serotonin alone. It is a feeling you get when you feel valuable in the group and are appreciated for the effort you put in for the group itself. It is the reason why we don't give awards behind closed doors or receive our college degree just by email. That feeling you get when they call your name and you walk across the stage with your cap and gown and your entire family and friends are cheering for you, and then you reach the center and you receive your diploma is unlike any other. And not only do you get it, but your parents do too. Serotonin works to help strengthen our social bonds, so we are more likely to work together and cooperate, and why your parents don't just eat you when you're born for food or something like spiders. Oxytocin is generally people's favorite chemical. It is commonly known as the love drug. It is the chemical responsible for that great feeling you get when you do a good deed or even see a good deed performed by another person. Oxytocin is also released through physical contact, like when you shake hands or hug. This is why it's always better to meet in person instead of handling a serious situation over email or text. Without oxytocin, we would not care to perform acts of generosity and would not be able to develop deep feelings of trust and friendship. As a leader, your goal is to find the balance. Too much dopamine, and we may achieve a lot, but we will feel lonely and never fulfilled no matter how much money we accumulate. Channeled in the wrong way, it could lead to addictions to things like cigarettes and cocaine. Too much oxytocin, and with no measurable goals or ambition, we as a human race would not get anything done. Your job as a leader is to sacrifice your comfort and time, put in those long hours after work, meet everyone to know how they feel, and create that circle of safety inside your organization. And when we know our leaders have our backs, we will work tirelessly, put in blood, sweat, and tears to get their vision accomplished. When the system and chemicals are in balance, we don't fear those inside our organization, but trust each other to cooperate, and we seem to gain an almost invincible ability to weather any amount of suffering or change or obstacle put in our path. We're inspired, have creativity and empathy, to just name a few, which causes our company to achieve results we could have never done alone or even better than we thought possible. And these companies aren't fantasy or as crazy as they sound. If you invested in Costco in 1983, the second largest retail store, a company who believed in setting their minimum salary to $20, well above the minimum wage, you would have seen a 1,200% increase in profit, even through the Great Recession in 2008. Costco rejects the notion that to succeed in the retail sector, you need to keep wages low and even provides health insurance to their workers. Instead of hiring from the outside, they build up their employees up to managers. And in turn, because of their loyalty, their members extend that circle of safety to the company's shareholders and us. To give you a real-life example, Costco customer service is amazing. My friend's dad used and returned 15 different cameras just so he can see what the perfect fit was with no problems. Or how about NextJump, an e-commerce company where it's pretty much impossible to get fired. Instead, they use tough love, coaching, and if the company isn't a right fit, even try to find people a job somewhere else. The best thing I like about this example is that the company didn't even start out like this, so there's hope for every organization out there as well. After the policy was implemented, teams of engineers started to talk more openly, and mistakes and problems were owned up to because people no longer feared their job, which allowed potential problems to be diffused long before they had the possibility to blow up. With such a good culture, and although many employees get job offers from companies like Google or Facebook, they don't leave. With a greater focus on building their people and generating trust and loyalty, NextJump has now a turnover rate of just 1% and a worth of $2 billion. The culture is the secret sauce that makes a place great, which in turn extends to the shareholders and customers. I can't tell you how long the process of building trust and loyalty or reforming your group is going to take. But let's say you need to move into a new home across country and you had two friends. One friend offers to give you $100 for movers, and the other spends 2 entire weekends helping you pack, move, and store boxes. When called upon to return the favor, which would you rather help out? Or, if you were a kid on a Little League team, would you rather have a parent that's there for the whole game, but on their phone the whole time, or another who arrives late, still in their work clothes all sweaty, but cheers as loud as they can for you for the next hour and a half? I can tell you it only takes time, but also energy and effort. Leadership is every day. In conclusion, feeling safe, inspired, and fulfilled at work should not be an anomaly, but instead the norm. When we have to watch our own backs and fend for ourselves at work, the whole organization suffers. But when we trust each other, cooperate with each other, we grow stronger, accomplish more, and tower over our competitors. Leadership takes work. It takes time and energy. It is about truly caring for those above and below us and sacrificing our time and leisure to help people grow and make them feel safe so they can do better than we ever did. The effects are not always immediate and easy to identify, which is the hard part. But just like working out and measuring progress over months and years instead of days, you will see results. The best part about being a leader is that you don't have to be in a position of authority to trust, love, and look out for your fellow colleagues. There's no formal rank or title in leadership. It is about caring for those to the left of you and those to the right of you. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Hope you learned something new in less than 10 minutes, and see you in the next video. Peace.